Welcome back, my dark means, to the dark void ruled by me, Nile51. Yeah, I almost ruined that. And today we are back to another random reaction today. And today we're gonna be continuing on with the Warhammer theme. Last time I reacted to basically the history of Dark Mechanicum, which fortunately there's not that much of the Dark Mechanicum. Unfortunately, I hope we get some news of the Dark Mechanicum. I really want to see that since I do like Adeptus Mechanicus. You should know that Adeptus Mechanicus are very, very interesting, and I like that their technology. And I wanted to see the Dark Mechanicum. Unfortunately, there's not that much over there. So hopefully, one day, hopefully. But yes, if you don't know, I like the Adeptus Mechanicus and the whole thing on the Omnicile. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I even told you that I had that sort of calling. Well, here we go again with another series, with another character that I absolutely love and like, and that is Vashtorr the Arkifane. I talked about this in the last video as well. And if you don't know who Vashtorr is, he's basically potentially the wants to become the next Chaos God. And I appreciate that. And not only that, but he's also the arms dealer of the 4 Chaos Gods. Or in other words, they all basically right there kissing his ass, kissing his butt cheeks, and well, Slaanesh is actually just, well, you know what Slaanesh is. So it's more like she's sucking something. But either way, all 4 of them are like right there, basically at his feet, because he's the one that literally makes all their little toys, and none of them can do shit. I mean, could go do heck about it, because if they try to, they will get cut off, and the other ones would just take the time to beat the living heck out of that. I mean, literally, it's fantastic. I love him. I had that calling. I had that calling. I don't know what. When I heard Vashtorr, it's just, oh, okay, new chaos creature. I was interested, and then, oh my gosh, I fell in love with this character. Just like the Adeptus Mechanicus, I had that calling. I just, like I said before, if you have that calling, you just don't know what it is. There's no explanation. You just have that feeling that, yes, this is it. This is who I is. This is who I want to keep looking at. I mean, I don't know why. Just like the Adeptus Mechanicus, I had that calling, and then I went to the Dark Mechanicum, and I wish there was more history. I want to have that calling with the Dark Mechanicum, with the unrestricted technology and creation. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're here to look at Vashtorr, and this is by Wes Hammer. Yes, and just let you know, this is from during the Arcs of Omen series, and it was only on the first chapter, but like I said, only the first book, but when he first appeared, but still, I can't believe, I can't. Vashtorr, currently my favorite character. Alright, let's go see, and yes, and just to let you know, I have reacted to this once before, but that was like when the Marks of Omen came out, so I'm reacting to it with you guys as well, and I can't talk because I'm too excited. Let's begin. Vashtorr. Man, seriously, I hope there's more Vashtorr news. Seriously, I want to hear more what's happening. He's currently in Pride Nexus right now. Oh, man.
The brand new Arcs of Omen campaign that's currently on
work, PC, please.
Right now is absolutely nuts. There's just so many wild things happening in this book. From Abaddon raising up a fleet of undead warships the size of moons. Some mysterious.
Or in other words, the Arcs of Omen, the curve,
powerful than anything we've encountered in the lore so far. And
would you please work?
A brand new chaos invasion. But the most crazy.
Man. I never. What's funny is I want an ad to pop up so that way my PC can work carefully.
Demonic antagonist.
Work, PC.
To challenge the 4 Chaos Gods.
And none of them can do. And none of them can do anything about it because they can't. Yeah, none of them can do anything about it because it's the kid. He's the arms dealer. Please, really. I literally talked about it just a few seconds. Alright, well, let's just wait here. Oh, here we go.
5th, and eventually overpowering all of them.
Which I believe he can.
Arkifane. And this guy.
I'm sorry, my PC is like lagging again. Man, please put an ad up.
Although
for some reason it works afterwards.
The lore has made a pretty crazy impression. Despite how very clearly chaotic this guy looks, he's a different kind of evil from what we're used to with chaos demons. He's mathematically evil.
Oh yeah, he is.
Is he, and what is he all about? What major role does he have to play within the Arcs of Omen campaign? And What is the nightmarish realm that he rules over, known as the Forge of Souls?
Ooh,
To the bottom of
the
all of that and a
Forge
whole
of
lot more.
Souls.
But first, a quick shout out to this video's sponsor, and then we're going to dive headfirst into
Please put an ad.
the Grimdark. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know I wear the same dope t-shirts in just about every single one of them. Well, they come from this really awesome clothing company called Into the AM.
Sorry, hold on. I gotta pause that for a moment. Yeah, sorry. One of my family members came into me here. Don't worry. I don't need to cut that one out, at least as far as I know. But yeah, I just wanted to give me some gum. Seriously, my mom is too good for me. Nah, hold on. I'll be back. I gotta put this like somewhere so it's not on my PC. I don't want the smell to attract the ants. Yes, I have ants now. They keep sending a scout in here every freaking day. Be back. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, like I said, I keep getting ants in here. They can send a scout in here at least once a day. Back to you on. Hopefully, into the AM. Okay, here you go.
Of this week's video. I can honestly say that for the price, these are the best shirts I've found in a really long time. They're super soft and comfortable.
Alright.
They're around.
Well, sorry. Okay, so if you want to see this kind of, just for this, I want to support content creators, so I'll just keep the ads up and running.
I can't tell you how many times I've had a t-shirt that I absolutely love. And after a couple of times through the wash, it ends.
What's the etiquette of not watching other content creators? Is there an etiquette to that?
Lottery of
Etiquette?
big
Etiquette?
chest, long torso, and short legs, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Ad on here. That's not this ad.
They use on their shirts is absolutely incredible.
I need an ad, please, to interrupt the video, so it can actually work smoothly.
From me to you on how to keep your graphic tees looking the best for a long time. Whenever you wash them, flip them inside out first, and make sure you use cold water whenever possible. Into the AM didn't tell me to say that, but
well, that's just a natural thing you need to do.
I've been wearing graphic tees for a long time, and that's always worked for me. If you're like me and you're a big fan of cool graphic tees, you can get 3 of them bundled together for $60. Or if you want something a bit more professional looking,
I have to say, I always like having to see some of the shirts. I don't know why, but I like having some stuff on my shirt. Not food, I mean, but graphics.
But my viewers can save even more if you click on the link in the description of this video.
But like I said before, is there an etiquette to like sponsorships of other content creators in the videos? Is there like an etiquette? Is that right for me to like skip them, or is that bad? Or is that bad taste? So let me know in the comments.
With that out of the way, let's get back into the Grimdark.
Yep, back to Vashtorr.
Commonly held truth in the Warhammer universe that the more people share in some form of collective belief or experience similar
Vashtorr the
emotions or
Arkifane,
mass, then the more that can begin to manifest within the warp. Now, this is true of every emotion.
I like the music.
Idea generated in the minds of.
I've actually watched some of his
across time and space.
His content before, just to let you know.
Those inquisitive and curious mortals, the scientists, inventors, artisans, and tinkerers of all sorts.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Normally having the best intentions, have always had the potential, and unfortunately often the wherewithal, to see their ingenuity set upon dark and depraved paths.
Which
the engineer
is
who set out
necessary.
to better his society is in turn made aware of new theories and systems that could be used to unleash untold havoc, the likes of which no world had ever seen.
Which is fantastic.
Sought to rid their planet of disease, sees their morals inevitably corrupted, and starts taking bribes to instead concoct ever more virulent pathogens and chemical weapons. The tinkerer who designed
pathways lead to the darkness.
has instead utilized their creations to create weapons and war engines to bring death to our enemies. Deep within the warp, the concepts of science and technology push down this nightmarish path.
Oh yeah, there's no limits.
Arcane and coalesce in a cancerous amalgamation.
If you don't know, the Warhammer universe is basically the Geneva Convention's nightmare.
And attract other similar emotions.
In other words, there's no Geneva Convention here.
End up gaining sentience.
Well,
science, technology,
there's some
and mathematics.
things that need to be outlawed that the Warhammer universe have outlawed.
To those who wish for
way too dangerous.
Or damnation.
Even more dangerous than exterminatus.
Wield it to their own nefarious ends. It is belief in the latter that saw the rise of an entity known as Vashtorr the Arkifane.
My boy.
Of the Soul Forge.
My boy.
Theorized that Vashtorr was born out of some ancient arms race during a long-forgotten galaxy-spanning conflict. A war that saw both sides engineer ever more terrifying engines of unrelenting carnage and destruction that would lay waste to entire sectors. Now, some believe the demon can trace its origins back to the Dark Age of technology, while others believe he may be far, far older. Vashtorr himself manifested only seldomly throughout recorded history. Now, many individuals that study the manifestation of warp entities such as him have never actually heard his name uttered aloud. The records that correspond to his appearance
but now
mention of something akin to a technological demonic boogeyman. Most mentions of his name that do exist are recorded in corrupted and blasphemous scrap code, or exist as echoes recorded on distorted Vox channels. Every syllable of his name, accompanied by a cacophony of disembodied wails and shrieks within the static. Now, records on Vashtorr are incredibly rare, but the ones that do exist.
Does it sound like spammed him?
Return is
spammed him? If you don't know who that is, look him up.
It's still
spammed
whether or not Vashtorr was just drawn to these conflicts out of morbid curiosity, or if he was the instrument that orchestrated them. So
either way,
exactly is he? Is he a demon prince or some type of new chaos god? Well, by all accounts, he's neither. He's something much greater than a demon prince and claims not to owe any allegiance to any of the four ruinous powers.
Oh, yeah, he hates those guys. He hates the four of them.
Also not on the level of a chaos god.
But he will sell to them.
At least not yet. We as the audience are first introduced to Vashtorr during the Arcs of Omen campaign. His very first appearance occurs after a group of Dark Mechanicus tech priests aboard the Vengeful Spirit use a corrupt
my boys
found in order to use its supernatural powers to aid in the ship's repairs. Now, unbeknownst to them, this was part of Vashtorr's plans.
That they didn't say it to him. They didn't tell Abaddon about it.
War Master's gaze, in the exact same way in which they had. Needless to say, the ritual that the tech priests were engaged in doesn't go according to plan.
I bet it doesn't.
Havoc across the ship. Abaddon is furious and is trying to find out the cause of it when he discovers their ritual site. Before he can punish them for their actions, he receives a call over the box telling him that something is happening deeper within the ship. When he goes to investigate, he sees the telltale signs of a demon emerging. He's about to give the order for his Terminators to open fire.
Come on.
But something stays his hand. When Vashtorr fully emerges, he ends up having a conversation with him. The craziness that's been going on aboard the ship is actually Vashtorr doing everything he can.
Oh my gosh, an ad, please.
That he can consider this a gift, and that he hopes to form an alliance with him. Abaddon doesn't trust any demon, let alone this guy. But
yeah, he doesn't like him. He'll use their powers, but he doesn't like
to feel something like kinship with him. When the topic of
Chaos Gods
powers comes up, Vashtorr spits on their name. He's
the
master of the Soul Forges and owes no allegiance to any of the four gods. Something that Abaddon can respect, considering he's been staying off their advancements for 10,000 years. Abaddon notes that there's something strange about the way Vashtorr talks. It's incredibly straightforward. Most of the time when demons end up speaking to mortals, their speech is a bunch of metaphors and riddles all wrapped up together.
I hate those riddles. I hate riddles.
Pry true meaning apart from
pain
what
in the
they're
butt.
Actually saying. Not so with Vashtorr. There's a cold and unrelenting logic to everything.
He'll just tell you straight up.
He claims that as the master of the soul,
he'll just tell you straight up.
He wanted to join the great game in earnest. He wanted to rise in power to the point where he'd be able to take his seat amongst the pantheon of other gods, and to eventually surpass all of them. He believed in order to do this, he would have to help the Despoiler fulfill a great prophecy, and aid him in securing one of the galaxy's greatest weapons. Now, it's not really apparent to us as the audience exactly what kind of deal the Arkifane and the War Master end up striking.
Either way, it's going to be fantastic.
At one point that they deliberated behind closed doors for multiple hours, and when Abaddon came back, he had a crazy smirk on his face.
Ooh. Abaddon has been happy for a while now.
For all their prating piety, the lackeys of the Corpse Emperor are greater traitors than we will ever be. At least our rebellion was honest. As I'm sure most of you are well aware, the four ruinous powers have carved out for themselves their own section of the realm of chaos that directly reflects their essence and personality. Khorne has the realm of brass and blood, Slanesh has the 6 circles of seduction, Tzeentch has the crystalline labyrinth, and Nurgle has his plague gardens. It stands to reason that if Vashtorr was going to become a 5th chaos god, then he would also have a similar realm that reflects his essence. Well,
he does.
He actually does. It's known as the Forge of Souls, or the Soul Forge. They kind of go back and forth on it.
Either way.
But what exactly is this terrible place, and why is it so important? The Forge of Souls.
Hallelujah, we got to add.
Hellscape, located deep within the swirling, formless wastes of the realm of chaos. It is set against a blackened sky, choked by dark, oily fumes that billow forth from its infinite forges.
Here we go, the forge.
In the pungent, burning smell of forbidden mechanical sorcery. Everywhere you go, You can hear a cacophony of wailing and tortured spirits that screech in tempo.
And the power of industry.
Massive pistons and the grinding of ancient gears. This is the realm where the demonic forge masters of chaos endlessly toil away, binding the souls of mortals and demons alike.
Now we know where they come from.
Mechanical creation.
We now know where these come from.
Utterly sentient nightmare creatures that are enslaved to Vashtorr's will continuously churn out all manner of terrifying demonic weapons. It is said that the perverse technologies and sorceries of chaos are fused with arcane metals.
We finally know where these are made from.
Jagged possessed blades.
We finally know where these machines are made at.
Blasphemous relics wielded by the Neverborn and their mortal champions alike.
Sweet.
It was in this hellish place that originated the construction method for demon engines, and is notably where the soul grinders are forged. Terrifying visions of demonic souls from within the warp, with the engines of war that originated in the physical universe. This is a realm of sustained techno-blasphemy, a land of dark iron and steam, of clattering cogs and pounding pistons, where infernal pacts are signed in
I do like the style.
The unholy symbiosis of the physical and immaterial is made manifest. The soul forges for the most part remain neutral in the great game.
Oh yeah.
All four of the ruinous powers with weapons and armaments to aid their vast and terrible armies.
This is where he gets all his powers from.
Any demon may approach the forge in order to enter into a pact with its brokers. The reasons vary from demon to demon, but many may see it as the fastest route to achieving power, seeking to utilize the undeniable might of the soul forges in whatever crusade and thus through their victories, achieve the favor of their patron deity. Other demons may be seeking a way to circumvent the spiritual bonds and lingering shame of banishment from the physical universe.
Hey, they want to stay here.
Into a physical body of iron and steel, they can then once more re-enter our plane. Vashtorr and his brokers are more than happy to forge contracts with such individuals, in exchange for an agreed-upon price of mortal souls. These souls will be reaped by the demon in question and offered to the Soul Forge as payment. Once the deal is struck, the demon will be fed into the Soul Forge, its machines crushing, battering, and ripping them apart, taking their essence and melting them out of a war.
Oh yeah.
They'll be reborn as a soul grinder, a calamity engine, or an infernal bombard, to name but a few. Regardless of the form they take, the entity will unquestionably emerge more powerful and well-armed than they had been before they entered. Demons that approach the Soul Forge with less to offer may end up paying their debts by serving a period enslaved to Vashtorr's will. Whether they serve in his armies or deep within the heart of his forge, Vashtorr will always be able to find a use for them. Now, here's the thing about Vashtorr that really sets him apart from the other gods.
Here we go, here we go.
It's not in his nature to lie or trick.
No, he's not. He does the up.
Any that would enter into a contract with him.
Tells the up straight.
Pretty much brutally honest and pragmatic. Such is the
nature
of the mathematical pursuit of
you get what you want,
advancements.
But here are the consequences.
His contracts are explicit in their conditions. Conversely, however, it's also not in the nature of demons to take things at face value. They are creatures of chaos, and are thus not used to dealing with an entity that speaks so directly and literally. The chaotic nature of demons causes them to see things that aren't there, and derive their own meanings from these contracts, which in turn ends up working against them, and always leaves Vashtorr with the most to be gained. With every defeat that those bound to him end up suffering, their soul debt rises even higher. The self-inflicted bondage of these demons keeps them indebted to the master of the soul forges for all time. You can think of Vashtorr like a twisted demonic mob boss that knows exactly how to get what he wants, and keeps the demons foolish enough to sign a contract with him, never quite able to fully pay off their interest. Or perhaps it's more accurate to think of him as a great and powerful arms dealer, one whose inventions are so masterfully crafted that none of the four gods will dare move against him, regardless of the threat he poses.
They can't do anything.
If they were to do this, they would end up as the only god he refuses to sell to, which would put them at a significant disadvantage within the great game. Vashtorr is none but himself, and his importance within the great game cannot be understated, even if he isn't a chaos god. That may end up changing, however, as his influence and power continue to rise. Eventually he'll reach a point.
So I'm just so interested right now.
The other four.
Oh my gosh.
Even surpass them in power. So exactly how powerful is Vashtorr?
Let's see. How long do we have left?
It remains that he has legions of demons that have become indebted to him or choose to follow him willingly into battle, meaning that he is able to unleash bloody wars in his name. And when he does choose to physically manifest, he is a terrifyingly powerful monster who is able to bend reality.
I like his face is a gas mask thing.
Real space amidst storms of psychic lightning. He has been shown to have complete mastery over anything mechanical, electronic, made of metal, or just about any other material or object that does not exist in its natural state. Upon his first meeting with the War Master,
would just take over something.
To gain his favor is to completely heal his flagship. Many of the wounds that had been inflicted on it over the countless centuries had not been able to be repaired by his legion of tech priests.
Go,
By
man.
all accounts, when he had finished, the vengeful spirit was operating in its prime once again.
Oh, we're back? Sorry, an ad happened, and then an ad happened. No more ads, please, but still. Oh, for Pete's sake. What's happening? I'm moving? Please, can you please start talking? Oh my gosh! I hate my freaking PC. It's old. Like I said, this is my old PC. I said before. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go.
Abaddon and the Black
Finally.
were able to leash the mighty Space Hulks, massive
Yes, the Space Hulks.
ships that had been lost within the warp and fused together by its chaotic energies. Together, they were able to drag them back into real space, and the dark mechanical forces aligned with Abaddon carved mile-long warding sigils into their surface, while Vashtorr sent coiling bolts of warp energy into the captive Hulks. The energy burrowed inside of the ships, creating a synapse-like network of flesh metal.
Oh, yeah.
Each of the mechanical systems throughout the dozens of ships that made
These Space Hulks are big.
The neural network basically brought them to life.
Sweet.
What were known as the Arcs of Omen. These were monstrously powerful ships, and potentially the largest and most destructive ever mentioned in any of Warhammer's lore. But we'll cover
Even more powerful than the orcs, the Rock.
that I'm already hard at work on. Unlike his kin within the warp, the nature of chaos is something that doesn't seem to have come to define the Arkifane. Vashtorr is an entity of ordered and meticulous evil. He is the literal embodiment of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
As he
taken to
should
their
be.
Extremes, of violence and destruction.
Technologically.
His goals of becoming a new chaos god remains to be seen, but he is unquestionably
I hope he
one of
does.
the most powerful allies that Abaddon has been able to gain, and together, they pose one of the most significant threats the Imperium has ever.
They did. They have.
This recording, only book 1 of the Arcs of
Oh, yeah.
Arkifane has actually been released, and we're just starting to scratch the surface of what the Arkifane is all
Go look it up. Go look up Arcs of Omen.
promise that he's
Seriously.
going to be a prominent character in the lore going forward. And they've already announced the next 2 books in the series, one of which bearing his name.
Oh, yeah.
Is going to focus specifically on the Arkifane.
Oh, it does. It's freaking awesome.
Once we know a bit more.
Seriously, look it up. Look up the Arcs of
So
Omen.
many questions about
Oh,
this guy. And
it's
the thing I'm
fantastic.
personally most interested in is how the Dark Mechanicum views him. For all
We're still waiting. I'm still waiting on
this
that.
guy manages to achieve the
We're
goal,
still waiting on the Dark Mechanic and to notice this guy.
then it would be like a darkened version of the machine god worshipped by the Mechanicus. And it would be really interesting to see if an avatar of the Omnissiah, other than the Emperor of course, managed to rise up within the warp in order to challenge him. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's important to point out
Oh, yeah.
that it's
Oh, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah, yeah,
impossible
yeah.
that we would see him become a new Chaos God, as there's already been a precedent that's been set for this over in Age of Sigmar. If you don't know too much about Sigmar's
up?
lore, I'll keep it brief. A few years back, there was an event where Slaanesh ended up getting captured by the elves. And while they were
Somehow.
imprisoned, the Horned Rat God, the god of the sea, managed to take Slaanesh's throne for themselves. By the time Slaanesh was back in the picture,
Sweet.
the Horned Rat had already gained so much power that he was on the same level as the other Chaos Gods and thus is treated as the 5th. There's also
Nice.
rumors that Malekith, now known as Malarian in Age of Sigmar,
Probably.
has also become a Chaos God. Although the lore on this is a little bit shaky because it basically just comes from a single line in one of the books.
Hey.
The major takeaway here is that it's not completely off the table that something similar could happen in
If they ever get the balls,
Really interesting
if
places to
GW
go
gets
with
the
this
balls
storyline.
to do it.
I'm super curious to hear what you guys think down in the comments. What role do you think he's going to have in the storyline going forward? Do you think Games Workshop is foreshadowing something big with the Dark Mechanicum? And
It
just
better be.
What are your thoughts on this guy? Do you
I'm still waiting.
hate him or are you kind of indifferent?
I love
We're all
him.
experiencing this lore for
I'm
the
loving.
first time together as it's brand new. And I want to hear all of your theories, no matter how crazy they are. Now, if you like Warhammer and you want to know more about this universe, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, as I have so much more I want to tell you about. And I'm also working on a full deep dive of the Arcs of Omen Book 1 right now, and I would hate for you to miss it. Thanks again to everybody who supports my work, and if it wasn't for you guys watching these videos,
Sup?
I wouldn't
Sup?
be able to do this full time. So again, from the bottom of my
Hey.
heart, thank you. And with all that out of the way, I'll catch y'all on the next one.
Okay, that was it. Sorry, that was an ad that happened at the end there. But yeah, god dang, 3 ads. I only want one ad. Just one ad to make it so it can go smoothly for the video. Hilariously enough. But yeah. But either way, yeah, how did you like the story of Vashtorr the Arkifane? Now, this is just book 1 where he appears. There's like multiple stories where he appears. And he's a prominent figure in the series when we get to his book series. Trust me, go look him up. He's fantastic. So yeah, here is so sorry, I'm so excited ever since I heard Vashtorr. I'm just so giddy about him, so giddy. I'm still waiting for the Dark Mechanicum to get some storylines here. Dang it! But either way, let me know what you think about Vashtorr. What you think about this little small foray of him, and does this make you interested in looking him up more? Do you think you won't be looking him up? Do you think he'll have a story with all the mechanical stuff happening? Will he get his own army of basic mechanical army and plus a legion, and also have legions of followers worshiping him like the Dark Mechanicum, or even corrupted versions of the other factions? Either way, he may actually be the first faction to have a compilation faction, for all I know. Either way, what you thought and what you think, and just what he said, what's your theories about what's going to be happening to Vashtorr in the future, especially if you know the story of Vashtorr now. Let me know what you think is going to happen, because currently he's in the Pariah Nexus, and I can't wait to see what happens then. But right now, also, if you like this video, I will leave a link down below for you guys to watch it yourselves without my beautiful voice. So yeah, go watch it yourselves. I can't wait for what happens during the Pariah Nexus arc. Seriously, I literally want to see what happens. Either way, that's about it for right now. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment, subscribe down below if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Also, like I said, like and share the video. Helps me out, helps me get into the algorithm. Seriously, please do it, because at this point, YouTube is literally trying its best to put a lot of us down. And also, don't forget to press the black bell button to be notified whenever my videos come up. Or just come to my channel every once in a while during the week to see if I upload or not, because YouTube channel is, like I said, putting us down for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, but that's about it. And for right now, my Dark Mechanical minions dismissed!